found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun.
Hey my honey, so today we are bleaching some knots, making a wig. You need some gloves, okay? I got those from the hospital. And you're gonna need your Clear Oil Professionals developer. I have a 30. You would want to use a 20 maybe, but I got a 30. I got the bleach. That's the bleach powder to mix it with in the mixing bowl. And then the Shimmer Light shampoo to help with the brassiness of the knots. And then I did a review on this hair, so I'll link the video. We are going to get into the mixing process. You want to make it thick enough so that it does not seep through the lace and get on the actual hair, okay? Sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's not, but it won't be too bad if you make it thick enough. So at this point, it's really no measurement. I'm just going in, making sure it's to the thickness that I need it to be. The key is, guys, not to let it be runny. So that's pretty runny, okay? That would just seep through that lace and get on that hair. So we want it thicker than that. So if you need to add more powder, add more developer, however it may be, that's what you would need to do to just get it thick enough. Now that's about as thick as you want it to where it's not running off the brush, okay? So we're pretty ready, set, go. We are working with a 4x4 closure today, so that's pretty easy peasy. And you gotta spray down the front of the frontal to get the hairs out the way so that when you're bleaching, no hair will be touched, okay? On purpose, rather. So just get all that little hair out the way and continue on with the bleach on the lace. Now, I'm using this brush or whatever. I didn't like it, so I switched tools. So you'll see in a second that I'll be using something else. And it's more like a cooking tool, so it doesn't really matter. It's really good for spreading butter and cooking eggs. But at the same time, at this point, it's pretty good with spreading bleach. So I like using it. It helped it to, you know, smooth on more than the brush. The brush had bristles, so the bristles was not connecting and it just wasn't right. So this is just a nice tool, or a toothpick, or not a toothpick, a popsicle stick, or just anything so that you do not push down on the product into the lace. You just really want to sit it on top, basically. It's going to do what it do regardless, okay? This stuff is very strong. It has fumes in it that just will hit you in the face and knock you out. So be mindful of that, but just sitting it right on top of the lace, whether it's a closure, 4x4, 6x6, whatever. Just you want it thick enough to sit on top, and then at some point you'll just let it sit for a while, okay? Now the aluminum foil, guys, it helps this stuff to heat up and process quicker. So basically, if you were to let that hair sit for, the minimum would be 20 minutes, but the maximum would be 40 minutes to an hour. But it's just the frontal, so you don't really, it's a 4x4. You don't really need a whole hour. I didn't even need the 20 minutes, the 30 minutes that I did do. I let it sit for 30 minutes in the aluminum foil, which made it process faster. So it kind of just seeped through on the hairline part. I think that's kind of to be expected because, you know, it's really thin right there anyway. So just be real careful with the hairline putting that bleach there because it seems to like automatically seep through. So basically the shimmer lights, guys, it just helps to tone down the blonde. Okay, so if the blonde had raised up to be more of a on the yellow side, that's kind of brassy. So it kind of tones it down and just makes it more gentle looking versus the yellow and orange looking. So that's pretty much what I was trying to do, especially as far as the hairline went, because it kind of seeped through up there. And it pretty much really didn't change the color of it. It stayed like that, but it's okay because it did make it look more natural. And once you go in to pluck it and do all of that, that won't really be an issue. So just shampoo that all out and make sure you don't have any big bulky spots of the blue shampoo, because it will change the color of the whole demonstration and make it blue. So I did let that sit for 20 minutes. I let it sit on there to hopefully get some of the brassy yellow out, and just rinse that through till you don't see any more suds in the water in the sink. And then after that, we are ready to go, guys. We will head up and start making our wig. You're going to need a dome cap. This is the one that I like to use. You're also going to need your thread, and then you're going to need the needle. So once you put that dome cap on that head, now this wig for me was size 23. That's what size this head is. So as I'm putting that on, just to give it a little more stretch, okay, I make sure I pull the bottom of the dome cap down as far as I can and pin it so that it's more stretched out. And then when I go in to sew the tracks or whatever and put it on, it's a perfect fit versus trying to squeeze it on my head. You know what I'm saying? So if it was to be too big, I would just put the band around it and everything, and it'll be okay. So at this point, we're going to sew down the closure. I'm just getting everything in place with my T-pins. And then I'm going to proceed to sew down my closure. So I start in the back at that middle, and then I proceed to go along one side of it and make sure that is down and secure, okay? So when you're doing it on the head, make sure you're not sticking the needle through the actual head and the cap, because then it will be stuck to the head. So just starting off, it get kind of tricky because you got to distinguish, is this the head or is this the cap? And then after that, you just be like flowing straight through. So I just do one side at a time, so therefore it won't shift and move around on me. So I got it in place where I want it, and I want it to stay like that. So it helps me to go side to side. So once I complete that whole side, then I proceed to start back in the back again and go along to the other side. So we don't want to sew down the front of that closure, guys. That's that part that we cut off anyway, and kind of make it more natural and give it that good swoop baby hair right there. So you don't need to sew that down at all. So now we got our closure on. It's locked, it's loaded. We are going to proceed to these bundles. That closure is 20 inches, and then we have 3 bundles, 2 24 inches and 1 22 inch. So you're going to need to be ready, set, go. I got 4 pins that's already threaded. When one runs out, I could just keep it moving. It just helps you to move quicker. And whenever you're first starting off, whether it's on a mannequin or a real head, you put that needle through that weft. And when you're down here on the wig head, on that dome cap, you do not go through that stretchy band. You just go through the flesh of the dome cap. So just the little fabric of it. And then you just pin your little hair up, so therefore you can have some organization and it won't be falling all over the place. And if you guys will notice throughout this video, that is not a wig stand. That is my ring light stand. So it's like wobbly, it's not in place for me, it's moving around. It's very aggravating, so I do need to start investing in my tools, because even towards the end when it started getting a little dark, I'm using the ring light stand. I can't put my ring light up to do this, so I definitely need a wig stand so I can have 2 separate things and use my light and use my stand. But I hope that you guys still get the point of the video. It's not really a tutorial, but I know that when someone is getting started on something, you like to see it through. You know, I want to see you put that sewing in. I want to see you lay them tracks. So I'll give you guys a little bit of all of that, and then I'll be back to kind of talk you through certain parts. last track, guys. So once you get all the way up to that top or whatever, you would do single tracks. So I did double tracks all in the back, and this is just one last track that I'm going to put up as closest to the closure as possible, but I'm not going through the actual closure because this is a wig, and if you feel like you want to take the closure off and clean it or change it or however, you can do that separately from the tracks. You wouldn't have to cut the tracks and everything. So with that being said, this wig, guys, ain't nothing but 3 bundles and a closure. So you can always cut the tracks off this wig and do a sew-in, or use one of the bundles for a ponytail, or you could do whatever you really want. You don't have to just leave it at the wig. It's just more convenient. But sometimes you get tired of it, like, oh, okay, on to something new. You know what I'm saying? And then you can always just cut the little bundles off and use this for whatever other possible style you could think of. But in the case of this right now, I am just sewing it down around that closure. I'm not going in there through the closure. Now, some spots, like maybe 1 or 2 spots throughout that closure, I did kind of go through it or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, that will kind of help keep it a little secure. It's only 1 or 2. So if I did need to cut the closure out of it, I'm only cutting 1 or 2 of the threads from the track. It's not going to disconnect anything. It's still going to be in place. So other than that, guys, this is pretty much it. That one track made it to where it will be a flat foundation. If you decided to straighten this out, it would just cover that one track up just as flat as possible. So it's just a versatile wig. It's very, very versatile. So once you're done, you take the wig off the head, and then you got to go in and cut out that piece of dome cap that is underneath the lace, the closure. Some people don't remove that or whatever. They would probably keep it on for more security, but for me personally, it probably won't be as natural. So it got to go. And when you're cutting on it, make sure you cut around the thread. Don't mess up your hard work and cut on that thread, because it ain't gonna do nothing but detach the lace from the dome cap, and that just defeated the purpose. So it's pretty easy. Just cut that little piece out, and then you got your wig. Is you cool. Then you would just go in and maybe plug it and put your lace, cut your lace and glue it down, or you can even do the what is it called, the glueless. The glueless is nothing but mousse. So you set your baby hairs and do all that, and then when you put your scarf on and take it off, it is pretty much sealed the deal. So that's what makes it glueless or whatever. But I've already told y'all about my little straight and comb. I got that from my mother, so she don't know, so don't tell her. And it's just that I was putting the middle part in this wig, so I am just flattening out those roots, so therefore it will be easier for me to work with, and then I can see exactly what's going on. You got to get that back where that hair will cover that track. Make sure that's flat over there, ready, set, go. Now, after I have done all of this, I just want to pretty much map it out. That's what I was doing, seeing like, okay, boom, boom, boom. But then I actually went in with the mousse as well, and just kind of swoop some baby hairs. Nothing major. I'm not going to be putting this on today or cutting on it or doing anything. I'm just pretty much getting it ready, set, go for whenever it is installed or however. But we got a wig, so that's all we really worried about, okay? And we got some bleaching knots. I think those look really good. Like I said, it came out nice to where that bleach seeped through the hairline. But I like it like that. I'm sorry. I like it like that. I don't have a problem with that. You're not seeing no black knots or anything. So that's pretty cool. It's just next time, I'll make it probably thicker, or I'll start back behind it just a little bit, because you're going to pluck on that anyway. So, and you could always put the makeup there versus when you do your part, because if you see that part, it's a marvelous as well. So it picked up throughout the whole closure, and that was good. So I like that. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with this. I'm gonna wrap her down, let her dry, and keep it on moving. And then after this is ready, set, go, guys, let me know if you guys want a giveaway with this. You know, let me know who wants it, because she is up for grabs. So you can straighten her, you can curl her, you can do whatever you want to do. Clearly you can bleach her and color her. So let me know, guys. Since some of you guys missed the giveaway that we had, we can do another one with this. Okay, then I'll have to see what else I'll give away with it. But just leave a comment below and let me know if you guys are interested in that, and we can get started. Okay, but I do, however, like this wig. Now I'm gonna just probably try her on and shake her. It's starting to get dark, so it's like time to end the video. But I'll try her on for you guys, and at this point of the video, I will see my honeys on the next one. The next one. And I am going to put a band on this beauty and some combs in the inside. So we ain't gonna let that bother us. Bye, my honeys. Love you guys.